Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another video. So today I wanted to rank the 20 name list that Utah came up with for their survey to come up with a team name. And by the way, I recently, for my last video, I ranked all 32 NHL team names from 32 to 1. So if you're interested, go check that out. So for this one, I'm going to rank, well, here's the thing. I did 20 different AI logos for this because originally I wanted to do only 8, but then they came up with 20 lists. So I decided to make 20 different logos for every single team. Also, stay at the end of the video because I do want to ask you guys for a favor. So please stay to the end of that. And also, if you can like and subscribe, help this channel out, that'll be appreciated. All right, so in 20, I have Utah HC. I'm going to be honest, I don't like this name. I actually don't like a lot of names on this list. I think out of the 20, maybe 5 are decent. Not the greatest, but decent. But this one, Utah HC, never should have been on this list. And when I wrote AI, like when I told it to make a logo for this, I didn't really give it much thought. I just said put Utah HC with hockey sticks. And I think they did a good job. Obviously, the spelling sucks. And for some reason, AI has trouble creating hockey sticks. They seem to make it like half baseball bat, half golf club, but it's fine for what it is. It should be. I'm okay with Utah HC, by the way, for just one season. I just don't know why it's even on that list to begin with. Number 19, I have Utah Powder. I'm assuming powder is to represent snow because sometimes when people go skiing, they call it that. But from what I was told, but definitely not gunpowder. I told AI to create mountain logo with white snow, and this is what I came up with. I think the logo's nice. The name is horrible. Utah Powder. Also, I'm going to be saying the name of the team, like Utah HC, Utah Powder, and so on, just so we can get a feel of it. It might sound annoying, but bear with me. So, Utah Powder. In 18, Utah Black Diamonds. Now, here's the thing with Black Diamonds. When I think of Black Diamonds, I think of the cheese brand. I mean, I do like the logo also. Like I told AI to create a black and purple diamond shaped logo with mountains. And I think it did a good job, but I don't like the name Utah Black Diamond. Plus, we already have a Chicago Blackhawks. Do we need another team with blacks in it? I know we have blues and blue jackets, but I feel like the name is just too long. I mean, I know there's Vegas Golden Knights also, but Utah Black Diamonds. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Utah Frost. This one, when I hear Frost, I'm thinking of Jack Frost, and I think of ice cream. I'm not a fan of this name. Not really a fan of the logo either. Utah Caribou. Okay, I will admit, I think this logo is badass. It looks amazing on a jersey, but the name Caribou just doesn't, has care in it. Does it sound, scary? Does it sound vicious? No. And also here in Canada, we used to have a TV show called Camp Caribou. Wasn't spelled the same way. I think it was spelled with BOO at the end. And that's all I could think about. So Utah Caribou, definitely not. I don't think anyone should vote for that. I'm cool with the logo, the mascot of it, but definitely not the name. Utah Hive. Now, again, I think I told AI to create a hive logo in the shape of a honeycomb and 2 hockey sticks, because that's how else can you make a hockey logo or a team logo called Hive? I think having the nickname of the arena, the Hive, if you're going with a B theme, for sure that's great, but not as a team name. Utah Blast. How else can you make a Blast logo? I figured have a hockey puck and an explosion in the background. I think a lot of these team names are just just to have a list, but I don't think they're serious about these names. Utah Freeze. I think the fact that it's how many team names, how many sports logos do we have that has an F logo? And I think this is the most realistic way you can make a logo out of the name Freeze. Utah Freeze. I like this logo. Obviously, because that's, I typed in my ideas for AI to create it, to generate it, but I don't like the name Freeze. I'm thinking of Mr. Freeze. It doesn't work as a name. As a logo, I think it looks decent, but as a name, definitely not. Utah Canyon. I figured, again, I don't like the name Canyon for a team, for a sports team. It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I mean, I get it for the location, yes, but not for the team name. I figured make it in the shape of a U and I said create a canyon logo in the shape of a U. And this is what I come up with. I like the design. I like the logo, but I don't know. It's not my favorite. Utah Squall. And I think like a lot of people, I had no idea what a squall is. And yeah, the name, the description sounds good. It's kind of like a hurricane. I actually had no description. I just told AI to create a colorful squall logo with no text. And this is what it came up with. It looks like one of those Japanese themed tattoos. I mean, I guess if there's a hockey puck in the middle, sure. But again, that would look like a lot like the Hurricanes. Utah Ice. So this is similar to Utah Canyons, where I asked AI to create a U-shaped logo that's frozen with icicles coming out. And I think based on how generic a name Ice is, well, it's not generic for a hockey team because I don't think there's any. I mean, I think there was a Winnipeg Ice that used a Yeti logo. If it was just an I, it would look kind of weird. But if it was like that, a U that's frozen, I guess it could work. You could also create an I with a negative space of the U. Utah Blizzard. I think I told AI to create a mountain logo in a blizzard. And this is what I came up with. I think it looks decent. I don't know if I don't feel it looks good as a logo. I feel like it's too detailed to be a logo. I like logos being more simple. Although I do think of Dairy Queen. Utah Mountaineers. I'll be honest, I had trouble coming up with a logo for this because I didn't know what tools the Mountaineer uses. I was thinking maybe rock climbers. I just said create a Mountaineer logo using a mountain. And for this one, I decided to use the Utah state flag. So I said blue, white, and red. And this is what I come up with. I'll be honest though, I don't like logos that have face in it. Like say the Ottawa Senators logo. I don't like logos that use faces. But this is what I came up with. Mountaineers feels like too long of a name. Utah Outlaws. Now, I'll admit, I don't like the name Outlaws. I feel a name like Outlaws is too, again, like there's a lot of teams called Outlaws or Renegades and stuff like that. So I feel like that name is kind of minor league. But once I saw AI create this logo, based on what I gave it, I actually love the colors of this. You know what? If they went with Outlaws with this logo, I'm all for it. Utah Venom. I'm not really in favor of Venom because I feel like it's too 90s, but Utah Venom. It sounds right. It sounds good, but it feels too. I feel like they could come up with something better than that. I don't know. I have no say on it. Utah Glaciers. Now, it's another mountain theme logo. I mean, I feel like with my Blizzard logo and the powder logo that AI generated, it can go either way. This one feels more cleaner, I guess. And I did say let's add some yellow now in this, so that's why it has yellow. Now, this one is one of my favorites, and I know a lot of people hate it. The Utah Fury. Actually, my last Utah video, I kept calling it Furry. I kept mistaking it with furry, as in like a furry animal, and Fury. Whether this is called Utah Furry, Utah Fury, I like that theme where it's like hairy claws, animal hands holding a U shape. I think this would work. Maybe not the name. I like the name, but I know some people don't, and I understand why. I mean, they already had the Frozen Fury that LA Kings when they play in Salt Lake once a year, I think, or whenever, any preseason game. I do like the concept. I think it could be better, but I like this idea, where you can even call it Utah Yeti and still come up with a logo like that. I kind of like this idea. Utah Mammoth. This is also one of my favorites. It's kind of weird though, because there is a Colorado Mammoth that I believe is a lacrosse team. And there is a town in Utah called Mammoth, Utah. So I don't know if Mammoth would work. I like the name. And I actually told AI when they create the tusk, I believe it's called, to make it into a U shape and have mountains. I wanted a green and yellow logo only because I just wanted to have different colors in this list. But now that I look at it, I kind of wish I didn't because Minnesota Wild has like that animal bear that's green. So I would change the colors, but I don't know, I just said I wanted green, purple, and yellow. But you know, the colors can change. But I like this design. But I don't know if it would work if there's already a town called Mammoth, Utah, but maybe nobody cares. So, you know, who knows? Okay, so that was number 3. Now we have the final 2. And I'm going to be honest with you. Originally, what's number 2 was number 1. But before I did this list, before I started recording, I switched it only because. Okay, I'll tell you what number 2 is. Utah Swarm. Now, I'll admit, I'm not a huge fan of the logo because this is more of a name ranking than a logo ranking. And I like the name. Utah Swarm sounds actually pretty good. My only problem is that I believe there's already a Utah baseball team called the Utah Swarm. And again, I prefer a name to be original, to, you know, find a name that's not out there, and just a simple Google search and the baseball team name already pops up. So as much as I like the name, I couldn't make it number 1. If you're keeping track, I think you know what number 1 is, and I think it's a lot of people's number 1, and that's Utah Yeti, no S. And I don't know how I feel about the no S part, because Utah Yeti, Utah Yetis. I don't know. I keep going back and forth. Sometimes I like Utah Yeti. Sometimes I like Utah Yetis. I mean, how many Yetis are there in this world? But again, I don't want the whole body of a Yeti. I figure just the head, an angry Yeti on a crest. I think that would look pretty badass. I know Colorado has used the foot logo. I think they had a mascot originally before their current one that was a Yeti, or a Sasquatch, or a Bigfoot. I'm not married to this list. I'm not, you know, I can go either or, but I think the top 5 I can play around with that. Definitely like 15 out of these are just terrible and should not be used. Shouldn't be considered. But yeah, so that's my list. And now this is the favor I wanted to ask from you guys. Because right now, I think people are voting up to 4 by May 22nd. And after that, there's going to be another round. And I would love to continue the series, but I need your help in giving me suggestions on what you would like. Any of these names, if you like these names, would you like the logo to look like? And then maybe my next list, when, say, they bring it down to the top 15, top 10, or whatever, I can generate AI logos based on that, based on your suggestions. And yeah, it could be in another video. And maybe what colors you want it to be. That's it for today. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. Check out my other videos. Whether you like hockey, wrestling, or Tesla talk. And yeah, that's it. And I hope to see you on the next one.